Honorable Finance Minister Srimati Nirmala Sitaraman.
Sir, first let me request you that I talk from this seat.
I appreciate.
Thank you, sir. So thank you for giving me an opportunity to talk on this very historic bill, which is, as Mahesh Jethmalani, Honorable Member, mentioned, whose time is long overdue. Time has come is not the word, but it is long overdue. And I actually what happened? Oh, okay.
Yeah. No.
Thank you very much.
Yes, what's the problem?
No, he's not objecting to that. No, he's not.
I think certain things have to be over.
Thank you very much, Pramod Tiwari ji. Thank you.
But it speaks of a high level of attention.
That's right.
360 degrees.
That's right, sir. But I'm very grateful that you reminded, sir. Sir, I speak in favor, and this is an intervention that you permitted me, I speak in favor of the Nari Shakti Vandan Adhiniyam. And this proposed 128th amendment has actually been very thoughtfully crafted, considering that we are at a very critical stage of our development process. We've seen the success, and I certainly want to credit Shri P.V. Narasimha Rao ji's government for having brought in the 33% reservation in the Panchayat Raj at that time. And as a result, we've seen the groundswell at the Panchayat level, where 33% reservation today by many states has been increased to 50% as well. About 20 states have already brought in 50% reservation, and showing, therefore, the contribution of women at the Panchayat, although it started with 33%, now has gone up to 50%. There are no regrets. Actually, people are very happy that there's actual participatory process which is seen in the ground. And in this context, I remember one of the earliest steps that as Chief Minister, Honorable Prime Minister in Gujarat had taken up was also to encourage 50% and also unanimous elections. He would incentivize so that it should be non-partisan and that it should be with a common call taken by the Panchayat. So innovative ways of wanting people's participation has been always attempted to. So this one is long overdue because it partly also answers a lot of members who have been saying from the morning, why did it take 9 long years for you to bring the bill now? I would like to respond, and equally as I'm going down talking about this bill, it is important, sir, that we build consensus and also show that we are committed for the economic, social empowerment of women as well. We've heard several members today speaking about how since 2014, there have been very sincere ground level attempts to provide house, provide drinking water, provide smoke-free kitchen, provide dignity, which was a word used by Mahesh Jethmalani just before me, about providing toilets and so on. So these are also the fundamental bricks which build on empowering women. So social empowerment, economic empowerment, I'll go into a bit of detail a bit later. So what this proposed bill provides for is reservation of seats for women in the House of the People, in Lok Sabha. I've heard some members talk about reservation also should be brought in for the upper house. With the indirect election process and the way in which preference is shown in the voting, it's just not going to be possible to do any reservation. Let us keep that outside of this discussion, although it's well meant. I mean, the well-meaning suggestion has come in, but that's not going to be workable if it is not a direct election. So this bill actually provides, therefore, for reservation of seats for women in the House of the People, Lok Sabha, and also in the legislative assemblies of every state, and also in the National Capital Territory of Delhi. It proposes, sir, again, people have picked up on this word, but I reiterate it. It proposes that as nearly as maybe 1/3 seats shall be reserved for women. So that's the first two salient feature of this bill. So what it would do is to bring in a new article 330A, which is intended for reservation of seats for women in the Lok Sabha. Second, it also brings in a new article 332A, which proposes reservation of seats for women in the state legislative assembly. Another, which is an existing article, which is 239AA, is proposed to be amended for providing reservation for legislative assembly of National Capital Territory of Delhi. So all these three are happening. It also then intends that there shall be a reservation for women belonging to scheduled castes, scheduled tribes, in respect of the seats reserved for scheduled castes and scheduled tribes. So consequential amendments, sir, over and above all this, will also be made to the relevant acts for Puducherry and for J&K. Now, we come to the point on which, again, the previous speaker has gone into greater detail with his legal acumen to say how exactly this is going to be implemented. I'll have a minute on that. As far as the implementation of the proposed reservation for women, the new article 334A is inserted into the Constitution. It intends that after the bill is enacted, and after the bill comes into operation, and thereafter that, whenever the first census takes place, and the relevant figures for that census are published, a fresh delimitation exercise shall be undertaken, and for the purpose of delimitation of seats for providing reservation for women in the Lok Sabha, in the state legislative assemblies, and also in the legislative assembly of Delhi. Now, this exercise of delimitation, sir, will be limited to identifying the number of seats and those seats which are to be reserved for women, and it shall not affect the interstate distribution of seats of Lok Sabha and the legislative assemblies of the state. So we just want to make this absolutely clear as to what this constitutional amendment bill is proposing to do, and the reservation of seats shall cease after a period of 15 years from the commencement of this very proposed law. So this is where I think we are coming up with this constitutional amendment. It also sort of very clearly states that this reservation shall not apply until the Lok Sabha or Legislative Assembly of a particular state or the Legislative Assembly of Delhi is dissolved. So that is the main feature of this proposed constitutional amendment. Is this the first time we are talking about this reservation for women? Not at all. There have been 4 genuinely serious attempts to get this bill through, sir. The first ever attempt was in 1996 on 12th September in the 11th Lok Sabha, where Sri H.D. Devegowda was the Prime Minister, and that bill which was brought in was referred to a joint committee headed by Srimati Geeta Mukherjee, who immediately took up the work, and within 3 months, on 9th December 1996, she gave her report, And the bill remained there for almost a year. But because of the dissolution of the Lok Sabha, the 11th Lok Sabha, on 4th December 1997, this bill also lapsed. This bill, one particular feature which I'd like to highlight is this bill provided for rotation of seats reserved for women. So it provides for reservation, rotation of seats. So the next one, second attempt made, was on 14th December 1998 by Sri Atal Bihari Vajpayee's government, 12th Lok Sabha. In this, the bill was almost identical to the one which was presented earlier, but a 15-year period was brought in. Now, this bill also lapsed due to the dissolution of the 12th Lok Sabha on 26th April 1999. A second attempt was made again by Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee on 23rd December 1999. That was the 13th Lok Sabha, and then the bill hadn't been pursued at all because they couldn't develop any consensus of view. And again, this also lapsed on the dissolution of the 13th Lok Sabha on 6/2/2004. The fourth attempt, which is the most recent attempt, happened on 6th May 2008. In the Rajya Sabha, the bill was introduced under Dr. Manmohan Singh's government, UPA 2. Very identical bill to the one which was previously tabled, which couldn't be pursued in the Lok Sabha. And this bill, which was brought in the Rajya Sabha, was referred to a standing committee, a department-related parliamentary standing committee on personnel, public grievances, law and justice on 8th May 2008 for examination. And it got passed, taken up for consideration and passed in the Rajya Sabha on March 2010, and then it was transmitted to the Lok Sabha on 12th March 2010. It was just transmitted. But till 2014, it couldn't be taken up for various reasons. I'm not here going to go into the detail as to why it couldn't be cleared, but it didn't get cleared, and it lapsed. It is important for us to know that it lapsed on the dissolution of the 13th Lok Sabha on 18 May 2014. So, I may be pardoned if I'm repeating something which honorable members already know. There is no bill which is pending that I have to bring back here to say, we'll consider this one, it's been waiting from then. No bill is waiting. With the dissolution of the Lok Sabha, that bill, which was passed in the Rajya Sabha, but which it didn't remain here, which naturally got transmitted to the Lok Sabha, also lapsed. So there's no bill before us.